Let me ask you a question, and I want you to really think about it. When you see someone else succeeding, when you watch someone else living the life you dream about, when you observe someone else achieving what you've always wanted to achieve, what's your first thought? Is it, I wish that were me? Is it, they're so lucky? Is it, I could never do that? Or is it something else entirely? Because here's what I want you to start asking yourself. Why not you? Seriously, why not you? You see, I've spent decades studying success, watching people transform their lives, observing those who make it and those who don't. And I've discovered something fascinating. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent. It's not intelligence. It's not even opportunity. The difference is simply this: successful people ask themselves, why not me? While unsuccessful people ask themselves, why me? One question opens doors. The other one slams them shut. One question empowers. The other one imprisons. So which question are you asking? Think about this for a moment. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone with less education than you is building a successful business. Someone with fewer resources than you is achieving their dreams. Someone who started with more obstacles than you is living an extraordinary life. Someone who had every reason to fail is winning. And here's the truth. That might sting a little bit. They're not smarter than you. They're not more talented than you. They're not luckier than you. They just believe something you haven't believed yet. They believe that if others could do it, they could too. They asked themselves, why not me? And they couldn't come up with a good enough answer to stop them. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking about all the reasons why you're different. All the reasons why it's harder for you. All the circumstances that make your situation unique. And you know, right? Your situation is unique, but so is everyone else's. Every single person who's ever achieved anything significant had their own unique set of challenges. They had their own obstacles. They had their own doubts. They had their own fears. The question isn't whether you have challenges. The question is, are you going to let those challenges define you? Or are you going to use them to refine you? Let me tell you something that might surprise you. Most of the people you admire, most of the people you look up to, most of the people who seem to have it all figured out, they started out feeling exactly the way you feel right now. They felt inadequate. They felt unprepared. They felt like imposters. They wondered if they had what it takes. They questioned whether they deserved success. But here's what they did differently. They started anyway. They took action despite the fear. They moved forward despite the doubt. They asked, why not me? And then they went out and proved that the answer was no reason at all. You need to understand something crucial about human potential. You were not born to be average. You were not designed to just get by. You were not created to live a mediocre life. You have seeds of greatness inside you. You have potential you haven't even tapped into yet. You have abilities you don't even know you possess. But none of that matters if you keep telling yourself that success is for other people. None of that matters if you keep believing that the good life is reserved for those who are somehow different from you, better than you, more deserving than you. Here's a reality check: the people who are living your dream life right now, the people who have what you want, they're not superhuman. They breathe the same air you breathe. They have the same 24 hours you have. They face problems just like you do. They experience fear just like you do. The only difference is they decided that their desire for success was greater than their fear of failure. They decided that their dreams were worth fighting for. They decided that if someone else could do it, they could too. They asked themselves, why not me? And they didn't accept any excuses. Let me tell you about self-doubt. because this is where most people get stuck. Self-doubt is that voice in your head that says you're not ready, you're not qualified, you're not smart enough, strong enough, experienced enough. It's that voice that says, who do you think you are? And here's what you need to know about that voice. It's a liar. That voice has kept more people from their destiny than any external obstacle ever could. That voice has robbed more people of their dreams than any lack of opportunity. That voice is not protecting you. It's imprisoning you. Every time you say, I can't, you're making a choice. Every time you say, it's too hard, you're making a decision. Every time you say, maybe someday, you're choosing to stay where you are. And maybe where you are isn't terrible. Maybe it's comfortable. Maybe it's safe. But is it what you really want? Is it what you dreamed about when you were young and still believed anything was possible? Is it the life you'd choose if you weren't afraid? Because here's the truth: comfortable and unfulfilled is still unfulfilled. Safe and unrealized is still unrealized. Now, let's talk about qualifications for a minute, because this is another trap people fall into. They think they need more education, more experience, more credentials before they can start. They think they need to be fully prepared before they take the first step. But here's what I've learned. You don't need to be great to start, but you do need to start to be great. The qualification comes through the doing. The confidence comes through the action. The expertise comes through the experience. Nobody starts out as an expert. Nobody begins fully qualified. Everyone who's ever achieved anything started as a beginner. Think about the people who are successful in your field, whatever that field might be. Do you think they had everything figured out when they started? Do you think they felt completely prepared? Do you think they never experienced doubt or fear or uncertainty? Of course not. They just started anyway. They learned as they went. They grew through the challenges. They became qualified by doing the work, not by waiting until they felt ready. And here's the secret: you never feel completely ready. There's never a perfect time. There's only now and what you choose to do with now. I want you to consider something. What if the only thing standing between you and the life you want is your willingness to ask, why not me? What if the only difference between where you are and where you want to be is your belief that you deserve to be there? What if all the preparation you think you need, all the credentials you think you lack, all the experience you think you're missing, what if none of that matters as much as your decision to start? What if the universe is just waiting for you to claim what's already yours? Here's something I know to be absolutely true. Life responds to deservers, not needers. Life doesn't give you what you need. Life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you what you deserve. And you deserve it by becoming the kind of person who deserves it. You deserve it by working on yourself. You deserve it by developing your skills. You deserve it by growing your character. You deserve it by serving others. You deserve it by adding value to the world. And when you become that person, when you do that work, then you can look at any opportunity, any dream, any goal, and legitimately ask, why not me? Because you've earned the right to ask that question. But here's where people get confused. They think deserving means being perfect. They think it means never failing. They think it means knowing everything and having it all together. That's not what deserving means. Deserving means you're willing to pay the price. It means you're willing to do what others won't do. It means you're willing to persist when others quit. It means you're willing to learn when others make excuses. It means you're willing to grow when others stay stagnant. That's what makes you deserving. Not perfection, not flawlessness, but commitment, persistence, growth. Let me share something with you about failure, Because this stops so many people from even trying. They're afraid that if they go for it, they might fail. And they're right. You might fail. In fact, you probably will fail, at least at first. But here's what you need to understand. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every successful person has failed more times than unsuccessful people have even tried. The difference is that successful people don't see failure as a dead end. They see it as feedback. They see it as a learning opportunity. They see it as proof that they're in the arena, that they're actually doing something, that they're taking their shot. So when you ask yourself, why not me? And that voice of fear says, because you might fail, your response should be, so what? So what if you fail? What's the worst that could happen? You'll learn something. You'll grow. You'll be better prepared for the next attempt. You'll have more experience than you had before. You'll be stronger, wiser, more resilient. How is that a bad thing? The only real failure is never trying. The only real mistake is letting fear make your decisions for you. Now, I want to address something that I hear all the time. People say, but you don't understand my situation. You don't know where I come from. You don't know what I've been through. And you're right. I don't know your specific situation. But here's what I do know. Your past does not determine your future unless you let it. Where you come from does not determine where you're going unless you decide it does. What happened to you does not define what happens for you unless you make that choice. Yes, some people start with advantages. Yes, some people have it easier. Yes, life isn't fair. But you know what? None of that matters as much as what you do with what you have. History is full of people who came from nothing and became something. People who were told they'd never amount to anything and became everything. People who had every excuse to fail and succeeded anyway. People who started at the bottom and climbed to the top. People who were written off and came back to write their own story. And every single one of them, at some point, asked themselves, why not me? And decided that their circumstances were not their sentence. They were just their starting point. Here's what I want you to understand about opportunity. Opportunity doesn't wait for you to be ready. Opportunity doesn't care about your excuses. Opportunity doesn't knock endlessly. Opportunity shows up, and you either grab it or you don't. And when you let opportunity pass because you don't feel ready, because you don't feel worthy, because you don't feel qualified, someone else is grabbing that opportunity. Someone else is saying, why not me? Someone else is taking action. And then you watch them succeed and you think, I wish that were me. Well, it could have been you. It should have been you. The only reason it wasn't you is because you chose to stand on the sidelines instead of getting in the game. Let me tell you about regret, because this is important. I've met a lot of people in my life, and I can tell you that the people who regret what they did are far outnumbered by the people who regret what they didn't do. The people who regret trying are far fewer than the people who regret never trying. The people who regret failing are far fewer than the people who regret never having the courage to fail. When you're at the end of your life, you're not going to regret the risks you took. You're going to regret the risks you didn't take. You're going to regret the dreams you didn't chase. You're going to regret the times you asked, why not me? And then talked yourself out of the answer. So here's my challenge to you. Stop waiting. Stop preparing. Stop looking for permission. Stop making excuses. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop letting fear make your decisions. Stop letting doubt write your story. Stop acting like success is for everyone but you. Because if others can do it, and they can, and they are, and they will continue to, then why not you? Give me one good reason. Give me one legitimate reason why you can't pursue your dreams. Give me one valid reason why you can't build the life you want. Give me one honest reason why you can't become who you're capable of becoming. And if you can't give me that reason, if you can't justify staying where you are, if you can't explain why success is for others, but not for you, then stop accepting that story. Stop living that lie. Stop choosing mediocrity when greatness is available to you. Because it is available. It's available to anyone who's willing to pay the price, do the work. Persist through the challenges, learn from the failures, and keep asking, why not me? Until the universe has no choice but to answer, no reason at all. It's your time. It's your turn. It's your moment. You have everything you need to start. Maybe not everything you need to finish, but everything you need to start. And starting is what separates the dreamers from the doers. Starting is what separates the wishers from the achievers. Starting is what separates those who live lives of regret from those who live lives of fulfillment. So start today, right now, this moment. Take one action toward your dream. Make one move toward your goal. Take one step toward becoming who you want to be. And when that voice of doubt says, who do you think you are? You answer with absolute conviction. I'm someone who refuses to let fear win. I'm someone who believes in possibility. I'm someone who's done waiting. I'm someone who asked, why not me? And couldn't find a reason to stay stuck. Because here's the ultimate truth. You're one decision away from a completely different life. One decision, the decision to believe, the decision to try, the decision to persist, the decision to become, the decision to answer, why not me, with action instead of excuses. That's all it takes. Not years of preparation, not perfect circumstances, not special advantages, just one decision followed by consistent action. That's the formula. That's the secret. That's what every successful person figured out that unsuccessful people never learn. So I'm asking you again, and this time I want you to really feel it in your soul. Why not you? If someone with less is doing more, why not you? If someone who started later has gone further, why not you? If someone with fewer advantages is creating more results, why not you? If someone who had every reason to quit is still going, why not you? If someone who everyone counted out is winning, why not you? The answer is, there is no reason, no good reason, no valid reason, no legitimate reason why you can't have what you want, be who you want to be, achieve what you want to achieve. The only thing stopping you is you. The only obstacle is your belief. The only barrier is your willingness to act. Remove those things, and there's nothing between you and your dreams. Nothing between you and your potential. Nothing between you and the life you were meant to live. Your moment is now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when things are perfect. Now, while you still have time, while you still have energy, while you still have opportunity, the world is waiting for what only you can give. Your family needs the best version of you. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make today. And all of it hinges on your answer to one simple question, why not? So answer it. Answer it with your actions. Answer it with your commitment. Answer it with your persistence. Answer it with your growth. Answer it with your results. Look at that dream you've been holding back on and say, why not me? Look at that goal you've been afraid to pursue and say, why not me? Look at that life you've been too scared to claim and say, why not me? Why not now? Why not today? Because if not you, then who? If not now, then when? The perfect time will never come. The perfect circumstances will never align. The perfect version you will never appear before you start. You become perfect through the doing. You become ready through the trying. You become qualified through the journey. So stop waiting for permission and give it to yourself. You have everything you need. You are everything you need. The only question left to answer is, Why not you? The answer is staring back at you in the mirror. The answer is yes. It's always been yes. It's always going to be yes. Why not you? Because it is you. It's your time. It's your turn. It's your life. Now go claim it.